Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Real People. Now, it's been a few weeks since we broadcast the show, and what a bumper of a show we have in line for you tonight. And tonight's show is all about water, funny enough. Well, not all about water, but water's running through the theme of the show tonight. Now, we will be joined first of all by Erin Ponsonby, who will be performing her own song for us as well, which is called Don't Let Me Drown. Then we will be heading to the Maid of the Loch in Balloch, and we'll be watching the Maid getting taken out of Loch Lomond and onto the slipway for essential repair works. And finally tonight we will be joined by Stevie and Lisa from Ecoclean. So now it's on to our first guest tonight, and that is Erin Ponsonby. And Erin's from Clydebank. She's a West Dunbartonshire girl. So how are you doing, Erin?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
And thanks for joining us.
Good, thanks for having me.
So Erin, how long have you been singing?
Ever since I was a little girl, really. So I'm probably about 3, so about 20 years.
23, really?
Yeah.
You look really young.
I know, everyone
So I
thinks
bet
I'm
you get
about
ID'd
14.
everywhere you go.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you've been singing for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So how did you get the bug? How did it all come? Do you remember? Was it too young to remember? Or?
Well, initially I was obsessed with Annie, the musical. I
Right,
wanted to
okay.
be Annie, so it was musicals and things that I was into at first. And then just throughout school, I was in the school shows and I'd done voice as an instrument, and then I went on to go into uni and do music and all that kind of stuff and do my gigs. So that's how I kind of got into
So what did you do at uni?
popular music. So
right,
I
good.
graduated with a first class degree from the University of the Highlands Islands.
Brilliant.
So I graduated in 2020, but unfortunately couldn't get a graduation ceremony. But
Oh, that's really bad
I
luck,
know.
isn't it? It's typical. Are they going to do it once everything's back to normal? Or does
hopefully we're still waiting to hear. But
yeah, and of course that's probably stopped you from progressing and doing something with it as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
what kind of things do you have in mind? What would you like to do with? What's your
Just
plans?
hoping to make more music, yeah. So I released an EP as part of my honours project. So that was my first EP. It's called Little Town. Now it was really good being able to record more of my songs that was more professional sounding.
Have you got a kind of genre that you particularly like, or is it just the kind of pop side of things?
It's kind of a mixture, really. So I class it as like acoustic pop folk with country influences. So I'm really interested in country music as well. So I'm hoping to get a more country sound as I develop. So compared to my first song, Want Me To, that I released in 2017, I would say that my EP has more country influences in that.
People tend to think country music's just America, it's not really taking off, but I think now things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah,
in that
definitely.
respect. So is that what kind of focused you on that? Is it just because you've always liked that sound?
I don't really know how I got into it, to be honest. I've just always liked that sound and just a kind of acoustic aspect in music. But I used to love a show called Nashville, and then that was probably what helped me get into the country music kind of thing, because I liked all the music from that show, so it was good.
Great, good. And have you ever thought about trying traditional country music? Is that something you would try, or is it you prefer the kind of mix?
I think I prefer the kind of like country pop
Right.
side of things.
Good, good. And in your past, obviously you've been singing for a long time, Erin, is there any kind of moments that stick out for you, any special moments that you really loved during your performance or music?
Yeah, probably one of the biggest artists that I've supported is Hue and Cry. I supported them in the Beacon Arts Centre in Greenock a few
Right,
years
cool.
ago, so that was really good. I also supported Into the Ark. So initially that was my very first gig. I supported them on their UK tour in the garage in Glasgow. So that was in 2015, and then they came runners-up in The Voice 2017, and then I supported them again in St Luke's.
Brilliant.
So that was really good.
So you've done tours with Hue and Cry and Into the Ark, and you're doing Loch Lomond shows as well. So you've got a good variety of different things. Obviously things have been restricted for the past year, and Loch Lomond shows has just started back 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is my second week
Second
busking
week
at Loch
doing it,
Lomond
yeah.
Shores, so it's good.
That's great. And there is music at Loch Lomond Shores throughout the whole of the summer, so it's all through July, August as well, and I think it's every day, Erin, isn't it? They've got something on, and we will be going live as well. So what kind of plans have you got for the future with your music, Erin? Have you got another, I know you mentioned an EP there, so that's what, 5 songs, is that right?
It's got 4 songs
Four
on it, yeah.
songs. Have you got plans to write an album or release more music now? What are you thinking?
Well, at the moment, because obviously we were in lockdown, when I released my EP, I wasn't able to launch my EP, so I was supposed to be doing a gig in the 13th Note in Glasgow, but unfortunately that got cancelled, so it would be good to get a EP launch, or just kind of to promote the EP a little bit more. It'd be good to do one of those again.
So you're going to do more live shows? Is that would you like to get around touring with all your music?
Yeah, hopefully I would love to start doing that. Just up till now I've been just myself, just me and my guitar playing, but I would hopefully like to get a backing band, so that I could then do more gigs and hopefully festivals and things to kind of just fill out the sound and take that next professional step.
Brilliant. I hope you have every success with your EP and all your music as well, Erin. So if you get a Facebook page, a website that people can listen to you, listen to what you're doing, and...
Yeah, I'm on all social media. So on Facebook it's Erin Ponsonby, Twitter it's Erin_Ponsonby, Instagram Erin Ponsonby Music. And then I'm on Spotify and Bandcamp and all those things if you want to check out my music.
So make sure you download Erin's music. So Erin, the song you're going to perform for us tonight is Don't Let Me Drown. And can you tell us a little bit about the song and how you wrote it?
It's about being let down by someone or something, and I feel at the moment it's kind of a good topic because it's talking about drowning and kind of needing help. So I think throughout the pandemic, I think a lot of people have struggled with mental health and things. So I think it kind of works well with that topic as well. So I think a lot of people could relate to it. But the music video was recorded on the banks of Loch Lomond actually. So,
Right, okay.
yeah, and in Balloch Park. So
Right.
if you check that out, Don't Let Me Drown, it's on my YouTube. You'll probably recognise some places.
So again, thanks so much for coming on, Erin. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And here is Erin Ponsonby now singing her song, Don't Let Me Drown.
Stranded, I need your hand. I'm calling out your name, but you can't hear a sound. All you hear is silence, but all I can hear is doubt. I'm running out of time and I need you to save me now. So please don't let me drown. Please don't let me drown. Crashing, I need you now. I never thought that you'd be the one who'd let me down. I feel the tide rising, so bring me back to land. I'm losing sight of the horizon, you don't need to understand. But please don't let me drown. Please don't let me drown. I'm going under and my lungs can't take it. It's getting deeper, I don't think that I'll make it. So reach out your
The Maid of the Loch was assembled at A&J Inglis before being dismantled again for transport to Balloch Slipway, where it was reassembled and launched on Thursday the 5th of March 1953. It was licensed to carry up to 1,000 passengers and did so for 28 years, hosting royal guests and celebrities, as well as 3 million tourists and visitors. Due to the appeal of foreign holidays, visitor numbers to the Maid of the Loch dwindled from the late 60s up until 1981, when it was decommissioned, neglected and in bad need of repair. However, the paddle steamer was purchased by Dumbarton District Council in 1992 and then rescued by volunteers at the Loch Lomond Steamship Company, who began a long and determined battle to restore the vessel to its former sailing glory. Although £2 million has been raised to date, a further £4 million is required to get the vessel sailing on Loch Lomond once again. After a failed attempt to remove the Maid of the Loch from the water on the 10th of January 2019 due to the winch system breaking, work has been ongoing for a second attempt so that the vessel can receive essential repair work. Today is the day. Wednesday the 14th of July 2021. So here we are at the Maid of the Loch, and they're just about to, I think, move the boat so that they can take it in line with the pier that they're going to pull it onto to do the repairs. So keep your fingers crossed, everything goes to plan. So there we have a successful operation this time round. That's the Maid of the Loch on the slipway, ready for its repairs, and hopefully we look forward to seeing all that. And I'm joined here by Connor as well, who's been watching the whole thing. How did you find that, Connor?
Quite good.
Quite good. It was quite a slow process, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Very enjoyable and very hard work got put into it.
It did indeed, but we got there, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was great to watch. So there we have it, the Maid of the Loch in the background, all ready to go, and we look forward to seeing the renovations as well.
Yeah.
So back to the studio. Our next guests on tonight's episode of Real People are Stevie and Lisa from Ecoclean. How you doing, guys?
We're great.
Now they're going to tell us a little bit of background information about their company, how they started, tell us what they do, and a few other plans that the guys have got as well. So thanks for joining us.
No bother, thank you.
So Stevie and Lisa, how did the company begin?
Lisa was a head housekeeper in Loch Lomond Golf Club for 10 years. Loved her job, but didn't so much love her bosses. And I was the same. I was a car valeter, and I was in the same predicament. I loved what I'd done, but my bosses I just couldn't work with. So we decided when the kids went into school that we would start our own wee cleaning business. So off they went to school, and that's what we done. But unfortunately, Lisa left her job because she was pregnant with wee Stephen, I think it was at the time. So she looked after him for the first few years of him growing up, while I still went out to work. But my boss, you know, he was demanding, he could be in your face, and I said, no, I'm not having this. So Lisa says, well, just leave. If you want to just leave, you know, we can do something else. So that Monday was the last straw I had in work, and I left on the Monday with my £40 wage and walked up the road feeling like a king because I've just left this job that I hated. I got to the front door and that's when my shoulders went down and reality hit me, and I've just walked out of a secure job. I've got nothing at all. I've got 40 quid to my name. It was a couple of months before Christmas. Bills needed paid, rent needed paid, Christmas needed bought. I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? And I said to Lisa, look, I'm really sorry, but I had to walk out. And she says, it's fine. You know, whatever you want to do, I'll back you 100%. She's like, what do you want to do? I says, I want to clean cars. So that was it. Off we went to Poundland with my 40 quid. I bought buckets and sponges and chamois and shampoo, glass cleaner, air freshener. And I went back to the house. I says, can you tell all your friends and family if they want their cars washed, they'll do it in the driveway. So that's how we started, with £40.
Yep. So that was a good investment for basically your last wage.
Yep.
Definitely.
So that's an entrepreneur, if ever I've heard one, your last 40 quid wage from your job and you actually put it into a business. And now, how successful are you now? So where are you at with?
Well, we're a year and a half in, aren't we? It's been going strength to strength. So if we're washing the cars in the driveway, and Lisa's friends and family, getting a couple of pound off them. One time I valeted Lisa's friend's car and she said, wow, that's amazing, my car's spotless. It's better than they do when she puts it in to get a valet done. She says, you should have a Facebook business page. So that made us think about opening one of them. So we started with a wee Facebook business page, and before you know it, his followers started, page likes, and people were booking in, and we were starting to get full up, so we're loving it. So Lisa's came on board now, so we don't just do car valet, we offer a wide range of cleaning services, everything from car valeting right up to COVID spraying and decontamination. We do housekeeping, we do weekly house cleans, clean carpets, sofas, so whatever it is, if it's dirty, we'll clean it.
So is it just both of you, or do you have other people now?
Yeah, we had a contract last year. It was only a temporary contract, so a company asked us to step in while another company was off, and could we supply workers. So we actually employed over the course from September to last month 5 people that were on benefits. We got them off benefits and got them a full-time job.
Brilliant.
And now they're still in employment, even though the temp contracts ended, they've been kept on. So it's good, a good wee feeling to know that 5 other people have had a job through us,
Great. And have you got plans, further expansion plans with it? Have you any ideas?
If we get time. we're chock-a-block. It's constant for the second we get up to we go to bed. We thought when you start your own business, it'll be great. You get free. You work 3 days, 4-day weeks, and finish at 5 or before it. And unfortunately, yourself. That's not the case. It doesn't happen.
But it's weird. It's different though, and I don't know if you find that. It's actually, you get more enjoyment out. The working the extra hours, it isn't actually as bad as if you had to go in and do overtime working for someone else, because
you're doing it for yourself.
Exactly.
Yep, you're benefiting your family. You're looking after your kids. You're slashing your debt. You're trying to get out the place you once were. So it's all positives. It's all benefits.
Brilliant, good. Now I think there was a story in the paper as well.
We were in the paper because we're certified crime scene cleaners now, myself and Lisa. And that's something that stemmed from my past, from when I was a young boy. One of my best friends unfortunately took his own life. And I was with him the night before and everything seemed fine. You would never have thought it. But the next day, once all the police and that had went away from the house, I went in to see his mum and dad and witnessed them cleaning up his blood in the bedroom, and that always stuck with me, and I couldn't fathom why they were doing that, why the police wouldn't do it, the housing, the funeral directors or someone else come in and deal with that. So that stuck with me, but it never actually rose or came to the surface until maybe last year, the year before. And I said to Lisa, I want to do something else. I think I want to do like extreme cleaning, maybe crime scene. So we looked into it, and you need to go to Wales if you want this training to be certified. And it was like 1,500 each, so it was a lot of money. So we scrimped and we saved, and we pulled everything we can towards one of my goals, and Lisa says, let's go for it, let's do this.
But you think, having gone through that yourself, Steve, especially seeing your one of your good friends' parents having to clean that up, that you're actually helping somebody and getting taking that away from them. That must have satisfaction.
That's exactly what it is. A lot of people go, it's a 50-50. Half of the people go, oh no, I could never do a job like that. But then another half will go, oh, I'd be really interested in doing a job like that. But for us, it's more about taking the trauma away from the family member. If anything's happened in a house and somebody's unfortunately passed away, or it's an elderly person, an unattended death, the family members don't need to see that. Once the body's been taken away, a company like myself and Lisa can go in, we can decontaminate, freshen up the place, make it look really nice again, without the family having to see the trauma that was left behind.
And how did you feel about that initially, Lisa, when Steve had suggested that to you? Were you a bit...
It was good.
Right? So you weren't like, oh no, I couldn't do that? No, you were...
No. Just now I'm a bit like, oh, can I do it? Because we've not had like the bad smell job yet, like the body lying there or whatever, but no, I think I'll be able to do it. It's satisfying.
You've certainly got a lot of strings to your bows.
That's it. That's just keep adding on, you know, and hopefully one day we'll get there where we can not so much take a back seat, but kind of step back maybe a little and let other people help run it, give them an opportunity, like reach one, teach one, so to speak, you know, pull somebody else up that's struggling and maybe had a bad past and they can't seem to get a job. And so we're all for community and helping people in the community.
So you're doing everything just now, but it will get to a stage where you can say, right, okay, time to run this business, time to, and again, you're going to create jobs for people, which is a good thing to do as well, especially in Western Bartonshire, where the unemployment's so high and
everything's so high in Western Bartonshire. It's one of the areas in Scotland that just seems to be up there. It's got a stigma attached to it. It's rife, you know. So unemployment's high, addiction's high, mental health's high. It's through the roof, and we feel like there needs to be a need in the community.
So you touched on mental health there as well. Now we were discussing earlier, now you've had an idea with regards to that. So can you share that with us as well?
Well, we came up with this idea, especially during the pandemic. I always put positive posts every day on my Facebook and social media, and just try and help somebody that's feeling down or depressed, because we all suffer from it. I've got very bad depression, anxiety, panic attacks. I've been diagnosed with OCD and PTSD from trauma in my past. There's nothing really to support the community as a whole, so we set up a wee Facebook page called Imagine for Success, and it's been great. People have been jumping on and adding a wee post and putting on their own wee videos, and we encourage people to come on and do that, have a wee live video. So it's members that are on that page that have personally messaged us and says, thank you very much. I didn't know there was a page like this out there and blah, 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 and I'm going through this tough time and that tough time. So there's definitely a big need for it in the Shire. And we had a meeting just a few days ago with the head of the Blue Triangle organisation, which is a homeless shelter which I used to live in myself. I stayed there for 1.5 years in my dark days, and they got me up, they got me out, and I moved on with my life. But we met with the CEO and the general manager of 3 Blue Triangles, and they're more than happy to back us 100% with the plans and the proposal that we put forward. So we're happy for that.
And it's testament as well, the fact you've been there, so that's a good thing. And it's a good role model for people that are struggling as well. Anything's achievable, isn't it?
Definitely.
Because you think there's no light at the end of the tunnel, don't you?
Exactly.
At the lowest stages of my life, I climbed Titan Crane in Clydebank just before they'd done it all up. I climbed up the top of that and went to the very edge of the crane, and I was ready to just let go. Right at the edge, I had enough of everything. Depression was overwhelming, and I said, no, I'm ready to let go. And as I was looking down, a big gust of wind came from nowhere and just blew me, and I grabbed onto that bar with all my might, and that split second I realised I want to live, I don't want to die. And for that day I started changing the way I was thinking and saying that maybe it's not so bad, you know. But I'm a suicide survivor, and there's a lot of people out there, in that split second they make that decision to jump for somewhere or to harm themselves. They think, what have I done, you know, and it's too late. So no, we're going to be here for the community and people that definitely need our help.
And that's an amazing thing to do and to set up as well. So I wish you the best of luck with that, and I'm sure
Thank you, mate.
I'm sure
Thank
there'll be lots of people that will be in need of that. And again, having a good role model in charge of something like that is important. It
Yep.
gives them that wee glimmer of hope that, oh,
Yep.
wait a minute, well, anyone can achieve
Aye.
success.
Of course.
You've done it. So
Yeah, and we're not all going to be professionals. Me and Lisa agreed on, we think people that are going to help out with this project that's upcoming should be people from lived experience. So whether they've got stress, anxiety, depression, mental health problems, addiction, they're in recovery, or maybe it's a family member that's like a mum, a father that's got a son or a daughter that's going through addiction, or they have mental health problems, anybody can come on board and help us. So that's what we're looking forward to doing.
great. And just as a reminder, how can folk find the Facebook page? What's that
Sorry,
called?
the Facebook page is called Imagine for Success.
Right, okay.
So they can jump on that and have a wee look. Feel free to post any post you like. Just even come on and have a listen what other people are saying. You know, you don't need to post if you don't want to.
And your business as well, so Ecoclean House. So you've
Ecoclean.
got a website, so that's ecoclean.scot. Is that right?
Yep, on Facebook we're ecoclean.scot. Our website's ecoclean.scot. Insta, we're on LinkedIn, we're on TikTok. Oh, we broke it.
I've not even done that yet. I've not got a
I
clue.
know. No, we're on TikTok as
Right,
well,
good.
so it seems to be the hip thing and now done it, so why no?
Right,
But
good.
yeah, but
And every little helps, doesn't it, with business? So if you
yeah,
can do a few wee quirky videos on TikTok to
That's
promote the
it.
business, well, that's it, exactly.
that's what it's all about.
Right, well, Stevie and Lisa, thanks so much for coming in.
If you've got anything dirty, give us a phone.
Ecoclean.scot.
That's it.
And what's your phone number for them to call you on?
0800 246 1887.
0800, you could even free phone. There we go.
There you go.
No excuses.
No excuses, guys. Facebook message.
So thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
No bother. Thank you. Thanks a lot.